Lika. Shara. Subscriba.
Troy, last war of the heroic age. All three of the goddesses vying for the golden apple were fair. Indeed, what mortal could possibly judge who was the fairest? Athena of the raven tresses offered wisdom. Hera, the queen of the gods, her blood-red braids arranged like a crown, offered power. But satisfying his desire was the key to unlocking the heart of Paris. Aphrodite, clad in little more than her long, golden curls, offered him Helen. Thus was a contest won, and a war begun. Helen of Troy. Map of the cities participating in the Trojan War, and the names of the heroes who were killed in this war. The Achaean leaders with 1256 ships. The Trojan leaders. The motives of those rallying to the defense of Troy were as diverse as the heterogeneous nature of the allied coalition she assembled. Some fought for honor and glory on the field of battle. Some for gold, some out of filial obligation. For the Trojans themselves, the cause was simple. They took up arms to defend the things they loved, their city, their hearths and homes, their wives and children waiting and watching from the battlements. Ajax defends the ships. The tides of war rolled back and forth throughout the conflict. The lowest ebb for the Achaeans came when, in the absence of Achilles, they were driven back to their last line of defense, the very ships that had borne them to Troy. The entire campaign now hinged on the outcome of this confrontation. Urged on by Hector, the Trojans strained to unleash fire against the wooden hulls. Rallied by mighty Ajax and his long spear, the Achaeans fought with their backs to the broad sea to maintain their beachhead. Hector, knowing he is fated to die, rushes in with his sword. Achilles, death incarnate, stands poised with his spear, awaiting the perfect moment to strike. Because he is the most well-rounded and most sympathetic of all the characters in the saga, savage warrior, steadfast leader, proud father, loving husband, and loyal son, it is possible to invert the Iliad and read it not as the redemption of Achilles, but as the tragedy of Hector. Achilles' slumber is disturbed by the shade of Patroclus, who warns that he, too, is fated to die in battle beneath the walls of Troy. To the succor of Troy from a land far away, Penthesilea led her Amazons into the fray. With her engagement, the saga erupted in a clash of civilizations. Everything about her was alien and exotic to the Achaeans, clustered as they were in their Aegean cul-de-sac. A woman in a man's world, riding a horse into battle, clad in outlandish gear, and crying out in a strange tongue, she was beauty and terror, blazing passion and icy resolve. Was it fate that drove Achilles to his doom, leading the assault against the sea and gates of Troy? Was it the burnished bronze, gold, and silver of his armor, gleaming like a torch in the blood-red reflected rays of the sun, making him the most conspicuous target to those defending the walls? Or was it the anger of the archer god Apollo, whose temple the son of Thetis had profaned? Whatever the source of his destruction, it was Paris, leaning far over the battlements, who was its instrument, loosing the fatal arrow that would bring the greatest warrior of a heroic age crashing down to death. The wooden horse being pulled into Troy, as residents celebrate what they thought was a victory. Dawn on the morning after the night of the horse offered a final glimpse of their city to the last survivors of Troy. She was still burning, the smoke rising up to the heavens and the pitiless gods. Broken and bereft, the refugees would cling to their sole remaining champion, Aeneas, as they passed into exile. They faced a long journey, but at its end lay a new home and the seeds of future glory.
Like, share, subscribe,